Hey, what's up everyone and welcome back. Time for another quick technical video, specifically on these cheap wastegates that I bought. Me and my buddy were talking about it last night, and I read a lot of good things about these wastegates on the internet. Otherwise I wouldn't have bought them. Don't typically buy cheap stuff and try to skim by. I actually read a lot of good reviews and I kind of wanted to see what these things were about. Well, I don't know. So far they let me down. I did a bench test with them earlier. I'm going to do one again with you guys on video, and we're going to see how these things work. So let's get to it. So I have both of the wastegates right here on the table, and I've already put some Teflon tape on these fittings, and I've installed these fittings in the lower part. This is where your boost reference would go whenever you're hooking up a wastegate. So I've done that on both of them. Like I said, it's got Teflon tape on it. And I have taken these tops off and reinstalled them like 3 or 4 times a piece, trying to get these diaphragms to seal up. And I'm going to show you guys what I mean about bench testing these, and we're going to see if these diaphragms are sealing up right or not. So, got some compressed air over here. It's a little rig I set up. So go ahead and plug this in. So what this is going to do is it's going to simulate the way that this would work in the car. Whenever you start to get positive pressure in the manifold and you've got your line running to this bottom port on the wastegate, that pressure is going to push up on the bottom of the diaphragm and it's going to open this wastegate up. And that's how you determine what your wastegate boost pressure is going to be, is by how stiff the spring is up here. So how much pressure it takes on the bottom to push that spring up, overcome the force of that spring, and open this valve, therefore controlling your boost. So when I hit this thing, there should be a little bit of air that comes out of the port right here, and that would be just from the diaphragm moving up inside this cap, and then it should stop and the valve should stay up. So let's see what happens. So you hear all that air? You can hear it when I put my finger over it. That is air escaping out of the top of the diaphragm. And you can notice the valve goes right back down. Do it one more time. It comes right back down. So what that's telling me is that there's a leak between the diaphragm, the bottom and the top of the diaphragm. And that's not going to be good if I put that in the car, because this wastegate is not going to control boost the way it's supposed to. And that's also going to become a boost leak. So that's the first one. So basically this thing's no good. It probably needs a new diaphragm, and honestly I've looked over the diaphragm. I can't find any kind of cuts or frays or anything like that on the diaphragm where it would be leaking from. So I'm assuming it's the little groove that the diaphragm sits in is where that air is leaking by. So go ahead and try the second one real quick. Got it plugged in. Now this one works a little bit better, but it's still leaking. So we'll show the valve opening up first. So you can see the valve initially opens up all the way, and then it starts to bleed back off. And then it moves back down as you let off. Now this one isn't as bad, but it is still leaking. So the port's right here above the bottom port. So I'll go ahead and hit it with some air pressure. Once again, you can hear that air leaking by as I move my finger over that port. So this one is leaking as well. So, I mean, these things look really good. One other thing that me and my buddy did last night is we put the fire ring in, or we put the valve seat in here, and then we put the bottom flange on and bolted this down. And what we did is we poured some water inside of here and we held this valve up, and water actually started to leak from the sides of this valve pretty bad. So that means there's not a good seal right here. And it's normal for a little bit of water to leak by, but honestly I wasn't comfortable with how much was leaking by this valve. So that could also cause an issue when you're trying to build boost if you have this thing on your hot side. So there you have it. There's the real world test of these things as far as bench testing them. I mean, I'm not making anything up. I put these things together the correct way, and they're not working. So I'm gonna get in contact with the company I bought these from and see what they're willing to do about it, if anything. I don't know. I'll keep you guys updated on that. I could probably put a little bit of work into these things and make them work. I could probably buy new diaphragms and maybe get crazy with some RTV and stuff in there, but I don't really want to have to do that on something, especially with how much money I'm putting into everything else. I'm trying to do everything right. It's kind of I don't know. I read some stuff on the internet. It seemed like these things were gonna be good as usual. You know, generally if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Hey man, I'm human. I make mistakes. I'm not perfect. And I'm putting it on video. I'm not gonna hide it. I'm not gonna show you guys just the good stuff that happens. I'm gonna show you guys the bad stuff that happens, the mistakes I make, because it's just all part of life. Either way, I may have to eat the price of these wastegates. I'm gonna look into getting maybe some precision 40mm wastegates. I don't know yet. I just gotta kind of shop around and look. But as soon as I get a solution to this problem, I'll make a video and let you guys know. So I'll talk to you guys later.